Good morning, it's Andrew Smith from Royal LePage Kelowna. Welcome to Coffee with Andy. It's Tuesday, February 24th, 2026. Milkshed Coffee. The heart of the mission. It's kind of on the precipice, the border, as you're heading up the hill up into Upper Mission, Kettle Valley, and such. And we're at a little bit of a traffic circle, so there's going to be a fair amount of noise during this, but I'm sure you'll endure. This is one of our favorite coffee shops. Great parking, unbelievably good coffee, and it's in kind of a funky little strip mall, artsy strip mall here, and across from Denenzi's, and another strip mall over there with the usual things like the liquor store and animal doctor. But yeah, nice. It's a nice place. This place has a brewery attached to it. They serve coffee from 7:30 in the morning till 3:30 in the afternoon, and the brewery part opens up, I'm guessing, 11. And so there's a bit of an overlap between the coffee drinkers and the beer drinkers, but everyone kind of gets along. And they have these guys even have a running club Monday night. The Never Miss a Monday crowd. Monday night, 6 o'clock, you meet here. There'll be about 50 people doing a reasonably easy 5K. You can walk it, you can sprint it, whatever you feel like, and you just come back here and have a beer. It's just a great spot. Real estate, 33 residential sales last week, way up from last week's 23. That's a third more. Good for us. And we beat the same week in 2025 when we only had 24. So we had a bit of a bounce back week. We had 2 bad weeks in a row. I was ready to drink the hemlock if this was another bad week, but finally, it looks like we're on track, and it looks like we might even beat the year-to-date numbers at the end of February. So we're getting off to, remember that the goal this year is to be a bit better than last year, because last year was a bit better than the year before, and so on and so on. So we're building momentum. We're not going off into the stratosphere, but we're trying to build momentum, and we're getting we're off to a pretty good start now. I couldn't say it last week, and it's a relatively small sample size. So far this year, there have been 205 sales at $910,000 compared to this time last year where there were 221 sales at $973,000. So the one thing that's kind of troubling early on in the year is the $910,000 versus $973,000. Now, that's just a relatively small sample of 200 homes that sold over the first 6 or 7 weeks of 2025 versus 2026. But nevertheless, $910,000 versus $973,000, that's kind of a chasm there. It represents a 6.5% drop. There hasn't been a 6.5% drop in homes sold, and that will certainly even it out. But it's just kind of indicative of what's happened the start of this year in terms of home sale prices. We're not seeing the $3-4 million houses sell as much as we are the $800,000-900,000 houses sell. There's a lot more quote unquote affordable type homes selling. Condos year to date 2026, 113 sales this year compared to year to date 2025, 116 sales. So we're about even. We're 3 off. That's within a margin of error. That's a paperwork thing where we've probably already caught up, because I wrote this an hour and a half ago. The median sale price last year was $438,000, and for apartment condos, it's $423,000. So a little bit of a trend, a little similar to residential, but not as certainly not as draconian. It's just a little bit of a blip that will straighten out. The people that are over half the people don't have mortgages on their houses and look at this and go, that's interesting. So this isn't for you. It's the people who bought. Let's use these examples. Someone who bought at $973,000, and if their house is worth $910,000 now, if they owe $9 on it, it's in many cases they just can't move. In many cases they can't move back to wherever they came from, living, affordably with 3 roommates, and rent their place out because the mortgage payment might be $3,200, and they might only get $2,200 rent on it. So the math doesn't work. First-time buyers are oftentimes just getting steamrolled in this market, and that's the unfortunate part of what is going on. A lot of people who paid 1.6, sold for 2.2, bought for 2.8. If their 2.8 house goes down to 2.6, they go, that's kind of the way it goes. But if you're the first time buyer with all in, with a big mortgage, paying in higher insurance rates, strata fees, blah, 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 it's kind of tough on those guys. Nevertheless, it's all in all, things going okay. Nice day here in the heart of Kelowna. Got about 10 degrees today, sun out, and thanks for thanks for watching. See you next week.